Nearly 300 million PCs were shipped worldwide last year, making a profit of more than $400 billion. Yet 40 short years ago, virtually no one knew what a personal computer was.
We knew that what we were doing was sort of breaking ground in some area, but we really didn't know what that was.
The Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry System, or MITS, was founded in Albuquerque in 1969 by Ed Roberts.
And he'd started it with, three other guys to make electronic kits, not a computer.
The no-nonsense Roberts led a group of technical visionaries that worked all hours of the day, developing the micro or personal computer.
People would have the engineers, and they would have an idea to do something. They'd stay late, and they would solder and try and do this thing until they came up with something.
In January of 1975, MIT's revolutionary computer kit, the Altair 8800, appeared on the cover of Popular Electronics.
The computer that was on the cover was actually just an empty box, a mock-up, because the computer that MITS had sent to the magazine to be photographed got lost in the mail, so they had to make up a fake computer overnight.
Although there are dozens of brands, styles, and devices on the market these days, every computer, then and now, has the same basic requirement: hardware and software.
The only way to enter a program into an Altair computer in the early days was through the front panel switches. And you had to know machine language to do that. So they put out the feelers for people who could write an operating system, and that's when Bill Gates and Paul Allen and Microsoft came into the picture.
Allen was flown out to Albuquerque in March of 1975 to test the paper code developed by he and Gates back in Boston. No one knew if the software would work on the 8800. It did, and sales of the Altair with BASIC shot through the roof.
And they were hoping to sell 100 or 200 kits the first year, and they got 600 orders the first couple of weeks. All of a sudden they're in business, and they went from four people to 200 people.
Less than a year after their arrival in Albuquerque, Gates and Allen established Microcomputer Software, or Microsoft for short.
And this is the genius of Bill, really, is that he's the one who really understood that it's the operating system that was the heart of it all.
Gates negotiated a royalty with Roberts for every copy of BASIC sold with the Altair. In addition, he sought other deals with such companies as Radio Shack and IBM.
He's the one who just got it, that was where the money was, not the boxes, that the money was in the operating system.
Ed Roberts believed BASIC belonged to MITS. Litigation ensued between the company and Microsoft, but Gates and Allen had difficulty finding legal representation here in Albuquerque. In the midst of the turmoil, they reached out to Gates' family in Washington.
Bill's father said, well, come home, your mother misses you, and I'll take care of the lawsuit.
Microsoft relocated and ultimately won their case against MITS. In 1978, Roberts sold MITS to California-based Pertec Computers before retiring to Georgia later that year.
They didn't know what they had. It was a new industry on the cutting edge, and they had no idea how to market it.
Pertec departed from the Altair's original fan base of hobbyists, causing the kit to disappear into obscurity. MITS ultimately closed its doors in 1980, while Microsoft flourished, developing the IBM BASIC, which turned into MS-DOS, which ultimately became Windows in 1985.
Technology has changed everything. It's not just the lives of people every day, it's how science is done.
Startup, Albuquerque and the Personal Computer Revolution, showing now through November at the New Mexico Natural History Museum, explores the PC's evolution.
It's changed our lives, it's changed the way we gain knowledge, and so it was very appropriate for us to have it here.
Maybe one day, we'll look back and say, well, yeah, of course New Mexico is one of the hottest innovation, ingenuity states in the country. And we should have known, 30 years from now, it was like, oh, New Mexico is one of the top 3 states. But we should have known that because all these great things started there.
Chad Brummett, Legendary New Mexico.